Ladies and gentlemen, I need your full attention, not your casual interest, not your halfway nod, not your passive agreement, your full, undivided attention, because what I'm about to say isn't entertainment. It's not hype. It's not one of those YouTube clips you play in the background while scrolling your phone. This is not a joke. The rapture is near, the final shift, the great moment humanity has been warned about for centuries, a time when everything changes forever. Not gradually, not with notice in an instant, but here's the terrifying truth. Most people are asleep. They wake up, check their notifications, sip their coffee, complain about the weather, gossip about politics, scroll, 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 and they do it all again the next day. Same loop, same illusion of control, same distractions, and all the while they're missing it, missing the signs, missing the warnings, missing the urgency. We're not just living in unusual times, we're living on borrowed time. Look around, morality is collapsing, truth is ridiculed, faith is mocked, and selfishness is celebrated like a trophy. The world is screaming in chaos, and yet people are laughing like it's a party. But there's a storm coming, and the thunder is already echoing in our souls. The question is, are you ready? I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to awaken something deep inside you. That fire, that clarity, that conviction that you've buried under comfort, under fear, under routine. Because you were not created just to exist. You were not born to drift. You were chosen for this moment, right now, and this isn't just about belief. This is about alignment. Are your actions in alignment with your soul? Is your daily life in alignment with your destiny? Are your priorities in alignment with eternity? You want the truth. The rapture isn't waiting for you to get your life together. It's not holding a meeting with your schedule. It's not going to send you a final reminder. It's going to happen suddenly, silently for some, shockingly for others, and the door will close, and when it does, there will be no time left to bargain. No time to negotiate. No second chances. So what does it mean to be ready? It means waking up fully, not just mentally, but spiritually. It means repenting not out of guilt, but out of transformation. It means letting go of the ego, the pride, the greed, the lust, the numbness. It means surrendering not because you're weak, but because you finally see what matters. It means living each day like it could be your last, not in fear, but in purpose. It means choosing truth over popularity, love over bitterness, holiness over hype. And you don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be real, because there's no pretending in the end. You can fool the world, fool your friends, fool yourself, but you can't fool eternity. Ask yourself, what are you really living for? A title, a bank balance, a trending reel? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and asked, if the rapture happened tonight, where would I be? Not hypothetically. Not someday, tonight. Would you be lifted or left behind? Would your name be known or unknown? Would your soul rise or your regrets bury you? This isn't about religion. This is about reality. This is about the ultimate reset, the final reckoning. And you don't get to vote on whether it's real. You only get to choose your response. Some of you are feeling it right now. Your chest is tight. Your breath is deep. Your thoughts are racing. That's not fear. That's your spirit shaking awake. That's truth confronting everything inside you that's been asleep for far too long. And if you're feeling convicted, good. That means your soul still has life. That means it's not too late. But don't delay. Don't wait for one more sign, one more sermon, one more moment. This is the moment right now. This is your wake-up call, not tomorrow now. Take your life back from distraction. Take your soul back from compromise. Take your destiny back from the noise. Get right, get clear, get real, because the rapture doesn't care about your comfort zone. This is the moment when heaven is reaching for you, calling to you, but you must respond. Don't harden your heart. Don't turn this into just another speech. Let this be the last moment you ever treat eternity like a concept. This is not a theory. This is not a myth. This is not a joke. This is the moment you rise. This is the moment you choose, because the rapture is near, and you were made to be ready. Comfort is the enemy of urgency, and urgency is the key to salvation. Most people spend their lives seeking comfort, a comfortable job, a comfortable relationship, a comfortable belief system that never confronts them or challenges them. But comfort is a trap. It lulls you into a state of spiritual sleep. It tells you there's no rush, no danger, no need to worry. It whispers that you're fine just the way you are, even if deep down you know you're not aligned. Comfort lies to you. It builds a prison with soft pillows and pleasant distractions, keeping you from recognizing the fire that's about to consume everything you've built on sand. Urgency, on the other hand, wakes you up. Urgency forces you to look in the mirror and ask the hard questions. Urgency makes you question your routines, your patterns, your choices. It shatters the illusion that time is unlimited and that your soul can keep waiting. When you live with urgency, you stop entertaining the things that drain you. You stop giving energy to things that don't matter. You start paying attention. You start listening. You start moving like someone who understands that life isn't promised, that change can come in an instant, and that eternity isn't a far off idea but a heartbeat away. Urgency pulls you out of laziness. It disrupts your denial. It makes you aware that every second matters. Every word, every thought, every step counts. And when the stakes are as high as eternity, urgency isn't optional, it's essential. But comfort will always try to convince you otherwise. It tells you to wait until next week, next month, next year. It says you need more time, more understanding, more proof. It says you're still young, or you're too busy right now. It tells you that you can fix things later, that you can surrender later, that you can wake up later, but later becomes never. Comfort delays action until the opportunity is gone. Comfort is the soft voice that leads people straight into destruction, not because they rejected truth, but because they postponed it. And what's worse is that comfort disguises itself as peace, when really it's numbness. Real peace is built on truth and awareness. Comfort without truth is just sedation. Urgency breaks that sedation. It demands attention. It calls you to rise, to move, to decide. It doesn't let you hit snooze on your calling, your convictions, your conscience. Urgency lights a fire inside you, not a fire of fear, but a fire of focus. It reminds you that you're alive for a reason, that you were born into this exact time in history for a divine purpose, that you weren't meant to drift or delay. You are meant to awaken and act. The rapture won't wait for people to get comfortable. It won't pause because you're still figuring things out. It will come like a thief in the night, and only those who are urgent in spirit will be ready. Urgency doesn't mean panic, it means clarity. It means living every moment as if heaven is watching. It means refusing to waste your days chasing things that have no eternal value. It means repenting quickly, loving deeply, forgiving fast, and living boldly. It means shutting down the lies that comfort tells you and rising into the reality that time is short. Every breath is a gift. Every heartbeat is a countdown. The world may laugh. They may say you're too intense, too serious, too obsessed with spiritual things. But when the rapture comes, those who lived with urgency will not be shocked. They'll be prepared because they chose truth over convenience, because they chose purpose over popularity, because they refused to let comfort lull them into destruction. Because they knew that comfort was the enemy of urgency, and urgency is the key to salvation. The rapture won't wait for your schedule, your feelings, or your excuses. It will not pause because you had a busy week. It won't reschedule itself because you're still trying to figure life out. It doesn't operate on your calendar or care about your comfort zone. This isn't an event that sends you a polite reminder. It's a divine interruption, a cosmic moment of truth that will unfold whether the world is ready or not. And too many people are living like they'll get a heads up, like there'll be a final warning, like they'll have one last moment to fix everything before the skies split open and eternity begins, but that's not how it works. The rapture is sudden, silent for some, shocking for others, final for all. And the tragedy is that millions will be caught unprepared, not because they never heard about it, but because they thought they had more time. They thought their priorities, their plans, their careers, their comfort, their relationships, their ambitions were more important. They kept delaying the decision to surrender, to repent, to align their lives with truth. They told themselves, I'll do it when I'm older, or I'll change when things settle down, but things never settle, life never slows, and suddenly it's too late. You can't treat eternity like an item on a to-do list. You can't pencil it in between your meetings and distractions. You can't negotiate with the divine. The rapture isn't checking in with your emotional readiness. It's not asking how you feel about it. It's coming ready or not, and your feelings, your doubts, your unanswered questions won't stop it. They won't delay it. They won't give you an extra hour. The sky won't hold still while you try to decide if you believe so. The real question isn't, when will it happen? The real question is, will you be ready no matter when it happens? Because the answer can't be found in your calendar. It's not in your comfort zone. It's in your heart, your spirit, your obedience. It's in how you live when no one's watching. It's in the daily choices you make to stay awake or fall asleep, to align or drift, to live for the eternal or settle for the temporary. The rapture will not wait for you to figure out your feelings. It won't hold back because you were busy chasing things that have no eternal value. It won't delay because you were offended by truth. The moment will arrive like lightning, like a thief in the night, without invitation or permission. And it won't care how popular you were, how successful you became, how well you performed. It will reveal who you really were. And for those who weren't ready, the shock will be unbearable. Excuses are the language of delay. They sound reasonable, they feel justified, they convince you that postponement is wisdom, but they are poison to your soul. They keep you trapped in indecision, in procrastination, in a false sense of safety. And the enemy loves excuses, because every time you say later, you stay unprepared. Every time you say, I'm not ready, you stay vulnerable. Every time you say, I don't feel it, you miss the truth staring you in the face. This isn't about how you feel. This is about what is real. You may feel tired, confused, distracted, busy, but none of that changes what's coming. The rapture will not adjust to your feelings. It will not consult your emotional state. It will come when it's time, and only those who made the choice to be ready regardless of how they felt will rise. They chose faith over feelings, action over excuses, alignment over avoidance. They didn't wait until it made perfect sense. They didn't wait until they were in the mood. They lived prepared because they knew the rapture was not waiting for them. To get around to it, being spiritually awake is more vital than being socially accepted. In a world that rewards performance, popularity, and appearance, it's easy to forget what truly matters. People are more concerned with how many likes they get than how aligned their soul is. They care more about being invited to parties than being ready for the presence of God. But being accepted by the world has never been the goal. You can be loved by the crowd and completely unknown in heaven. You can be praised by thousands and still miss the only approval that matters. Because social acceptance is temporary, it shifts, it fades, and it demands you compromise your truth just to keep it. Spiritual awakening isn't loud. It doesn't need a platform or a performance. It happens in quiet moments when you choose truth over comfort, conviction over culture, and obedience over popularity. It's when you stop trying to impress people who don't even care about your eternity. It's when you start measuring your life not by followers, but by fruit. Being spiritually awake means your spirit is sensitive to what heaven values, not what the algorithm promotes. It means you can't be lulled to sleep by the noise around you, because your ears are tuned to a higher frequency. When you're spiritually awake, you see through the illusions. You recognize that being popular doesn't mean you're right, and being different doesn't mean you're wrong. You realize that the narrow path is often lonely, but it leads to life. The broad road might be full of cheers, but it ends in destruction. The cost of staying spiritually alert is high. You'll be misunderstood, labeled, mocked, even rejected. But the cost of being spiritually asleep is even greater, because sleepwalkers don't notice danger until it's too late. They don't feel the urgency. They don't sense the shift in the atmosphere. They don't realize that the moment they're waiting for might already be here. The danger is in chasing applause from a system that's falling apart. The danger is trading spiritual truth for temporary validation. The world doesn't need more people who blend in, it needs people who are bold enough to stand up. People who live differently, people who see what others ignore, people who would rather be rejected for truth than accepted for compromise. When you're spiritually awake, your focus changes. You stop chasing comfort and start chasing purpose. You stop hiding and start speaking. You stop living to please man and start living to please God. The pressure to conform is strong. But the price of conformity is your soul. If you have to numb your spirit to fit in, it's not worth it. If you have to silence your convictions just to stay liked, it's not worth it. If you have to fake who you are just to be accepted, you're losing more than you're gaining. There comes a time when you must choose comfort or conviction, crowds or calling, applause or awakening, and the rapture won't ask how many people liked you. It will ask if you were ready. It won't care about your status. It will measure your spirit. It will reveal whether you were truly awake or just spiritually pretending being spiritually awake is what gives you clarity in confusion, courage in chaos, and discernment in deception. It's what keeps your lamp full while others run out of oil. It's what prepares you when the shout comes, when the trumpet sounds, when the sky splits. You won't have time to get ready, you must live ready. And that readiness isn't built on how many people liked your posts or laughed at your jokes. It's built on how deeply you walked in truth, how faithfully you stayed alert, and how boldly you lived for something far greater than acceptance from a fading world. You don't have to be perfect, but you must be prepared. The idea that you need to have everything figured out before you can be right with God is one of the greatest lies holding people back. Perfection was never the requirement. If it were, none of us would stand a chance. The truth is, preparation isn't about flawlessness, it's about readiness. It's about positioning your heart, aligning your spirit, and surrendering your will. Too many people think they need to wait until they stop making mistakes, until they're stronger, cleaner, better. But waiting for perfection is just another form of delay, another excuse to avoid what must be done now. Preparation starts with humility. It starts with acknowledging you can't do it on your own. It begins when you stop performing and start repenting. When you stop pretending and start pursuing what's real, there is power in readiness. It doesn't mean you've mastered everything. It means you've surrendered everything. It means you've put aside pride and stepped into obedience. You don't have to be spotless to be saved. You have to be willing to let go of what's weighing you down, willing to stop chasing the world and start seeking truth, willing to step away from compromise and step into conviction. The world is full of people trying to appear perfect on the outside while remaining completely unprepared on the inside. They show up dressed well, acting strong, sounding spiritual, but their hearts are far. They know the right words, the right posts, the right appearance, but they haven't prepared where it matters most. And when the rapture comes, the outer show won't matter. It will expose what's underneath. The question won't be how impressive you looked, but how surrendered you lived. Preparation happens in the secret place. It happens in the moments when no one is watching. It happens when you choose to stay awake. When others fall asleep, being prepared means living with the awareness that everything could change in a moment. It means letting go of the mindset that you'll fix it later. It means recognizing that now is holy ground, now is your chance, now is the time to get your heart in order. You don't need to have all the answers. You need to say yes to the one who does. You don't need to have a perfect past. You need to make a prepared decision in the present. That decision changes everything, not because you're flawless, but because you're finally aligned with what matters most. Don't wait until you feel worthy. Worthiness isn't the requirement, willingness is. God isn't calling the perfect, He's calling the prepared, the ones who are watching, the ones who are listening, the ones who have oil in their lamps and fire in their hearts. The ones who refuse to be distracted, discouraged, or delayed. The ones who live with urgency, not fear, with boldness, not shame, with surrender, not self-righteousness. Being prepared means you've chosen the narrow road. You've let go of what doesn't belong. You've turned away from excuses and stepped into action. Your preparation isn't about looking ready. It's about being ready. It's not about religion. It's about relationship. It's not about rules. It's about response. You respond to the call, the conviction, the still small voice that keeps pulling you closer. Preparation is about posture, the posture of your soul. It's not about pretending you have it all together. It's about opening your hands and heart, saying, "Here I am, just as I am, but I refuse to stay the same." Because the rapture won't ask how polished you were. It will ask how prepared you were. And the ones who are prepared will rise, not because they were perfect, but because they were real, surrendered, and awake. You can't fool eternity. You can only choose your response to it. There are no shortcuts, no backdoors, no loopholes when it comes to what lasts forever. You can impress people, deceive the world, play the game of appearances, but eternity isn't watching your performance, it's measuring your alignment. It sees past the mask, past the behavior, past the highlight reel. It cuts through every excuse, every justification, every delay. Eternity is not moved by how convincing your words are. It's moved by the condition of your heart. And while people can be distracted by image, eternity is focused on essence. This life gives you choices, thousands of them every day, but they all boil down to one core truth: how you respond to what is eternal. You can ignore it, deny it, postpone it, mock it, or pretend it's not urgent, but none of that changes the reality that it's coming. Eternity is not something you can manipulate. It's not swayed by trends or popularity or the culture's shifting values. It remains unchanged, unmoved, unshaken, and your response to it determines everything. You don't have to be famous, flawless, or even fully understood. But you do have to choose. Many people spend their lives trying to maintain an image. They try to appear spiritual without truly surrendering. They try to sound deep without ever digging into their own soul. They go through motions, perform rituals, say the right words, even attend the right events, but none of that fools eternity. Because eternity isn't watching your actions in isolation. It's watching the pattern of your life. It's watching the direction of your decisions, the motives behind your movement, the posture of your heart. When no one else sees, you can't talk your way past the gate of truth. You can't charm your way into eternal life. There will be no arguments strong enough, no excuses valid enough. When that moment comes and the trumpet sounds, only truth will matter. The truth of whether you responded when you had the chance. The truth of whether you chose light or chose distraction. The truth of whether you lived like this life was the destination or like it was the preparation. And if your response to eternity has been delay, avoidance, or denial, the consequences are not just emotional or temporary, they're eternal. This is why the rapture is not just a message, it's a moment of decision. It's not about stirring fear, it's about revealing urgency. It's about waking up souls that have been lulled to sleep by comfort, busyness, or compromise, because in the end there will be no one to blame. Not your parents, not your culture, not your pain, not your past. Only your response. That's the part you control. That's the choice that determines everything. And the silence of that moment will be louder than any sermon, any song, any shout you've ever heard. Eternity is the great equalizer. It's where status fades, titles disappear, and every soul stands bare before the only truth that ever mattered. And in that moment, your response, not your reputation, will rise up as your witness. The way you lived, the things you prioritized, the truth you accepted or rejected, the voice you followed, they will speak on your behalf. Not because you earned your way in, but because you chose the path that was already paid for. And the choice was always yours. That's the weight of eternity. That's the power of response. You can't cheat it, fake it, or edit it. You can only answer it. You can only live like it matters. You can only respond with a yes before it's too late.